Morning everybody, welcome to Tuesday's Pilates session. I hope you're all having a lovely morning. I had a nice day yesterday. Let's get started. So I've had lots of people, or a few people, say that they've been struggling to differentiate my legs in black leggings against the black floor. So I've doubled up on mats, so hopefully you'll be able to see the contrast between the black and the purple. Let me know if that helps or doesn't help or whatever, and I can see if there's anything else I can do. So let's start by just taking the stretch to our neck. So we're going to tip the head to the side. So think ear to shoulder, bring that hand over, and we're reaching the arm long and away. So just stretching down here from the neck into the shoulder. We're going to swap sides. We're lifting up other side, ear to shoulder. Take that arm away as you're pulling over with the other hand. Then we're doing each side one more time. Tipping the head over. Take the arm across, reaching down. Last time, tipping over. Take the arm across, reaching away. And relaxing there. We're going to do our breathing. So we're going to be laying on our back. So as you lay on your back, you want to get that neutral position under the lower spine. So make sure you've got that slight gap, that slight curve. Your knees are bent, feet are on the floor, and you're looking up towards the ceiling. And from here, we're just taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're taking nice deep breaths in and out, I want you to think about the position of those hips. So you want to feel as though you've got a torch on each hip bone, just shining up parallel onto the ceiling from one another. We're keeping that upper body nice and relaxed. So the shoulders are away from the ears. The chest is nice and open. Your weight is even through those feet. So thinking big toe, little toe and heel. And just gently tightening in your tummy. The next time that you breathe out, I'd like you to tuck the pelvis under so you're flattening that lower back into the floor. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release out to neutral. Tucking under to flatten. Holding there. Releasing out. So as we're getting that tucked under position, you're thinking about that nice flat back that you want to get into the floor. just the pelvis and the tummy muscles to move. On this next one, we're going to hold our flat back. So we're tucking under to hold. So from here, we're going to start to tighten in the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, we're tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. And release. We're going to tighten all the way in and release. So you're thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So as you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder and that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. We're going to halve this contraction. So 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. So we still want this nice relaxed position through the upper body. So think shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open. And if you are feeling really tense, just turn those palms up towards the ceiling, which should help to relax through the upper body. You're pulling your belly button all the way down. That weight even through the feet. Big toe, little toe, heel. We're halving one last time. So 20 to 25% tightening. And this should feel like a very gentle lifting, something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. So now we're trying to keep that flat back nice and strong. So you're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. We're going to bring those legs up into tabletop. So your knees are above your hips, your shins are parallel to the ceiling. We're going to glue those legs together. So you tip those legs over to the side, releasing that hip from the floor. Inhale back to the centre. Other side, we're tipping over. And centre. tipping over and centre. So although this hip is releasing from the floor, I want you to try and keep both shoulders in contact with your mat. So we want to use the tummy muscles to drop over to the side. Back into the centre. Find that flat back in the centre. Use your pelvic floor. And again onto the other side. Let's take 2 more on each side. We're tipping over and centre. Tipping over and centre. One more time on each side. Tip over and centre. Tipping over and centre. From there, hug those knees into the chest. And we're going to go on to our hands and knees. Good, let's move this up the way. So I've still got quite a sore wrist, so I'm just going to use these to help to keep my wrist nice and secure and pain-free. So we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. And you want the tummy to already be nice and tightened here. As you breathe out, I want you to tuck the pelvis under. So you're curving the lower back. Arching that spine, you drop the head. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release back out through the spine. Piece by piece. And we're lifting the head. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. Piece by piece. And we're lifting up. So we want to get lots of movement in your back. You're working into each section piece by piece. So if you do have any areas that feel stiff or sore, you just slow them down, taking your time to move through. So as you're curving your back, you're pulling the tummy all the way in. And as you're releasing back out, let the shoulders come away from the ears. We're taking 2 more here. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back, dropping the head. We're holding. Releasing out through the spine. Lifting the head. You've got 1 more here. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back, dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. Lifting up. From there, we're going to push ourselves back into a shelf stretch. So bottom to the feet. Reaching those arms out in front. From there, we're going to be on our back. No, we're not, that's a lie. We're going to be on our sides, sorry. To do our chest opening stretch. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. So as you lay on your side, you're going to have your knees bent, resting down, those arms are coming out nice and long, and we're palm to palm here. We're going to lift the top arm up so your fingertips point to the ceiling. From here, we're going to twist away from the body towards the opposite wall, taking the head with you. Holding here to take your stretch before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So top arm lifts, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Then we're lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So we want to keep our legs glued together and grounded. So make sure that you're getting this twist through your waist. Nice deep breaths throughout. The arm is reaching really long, so stretching from the fingertips all the way into your armpit, opening up into the chest. We're looking at this hand for as long as we can. So you know you're getting a really good movement through your neck. We've got 2 more here, lifting up to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, you're twisting away. Holding here as you stretch. Before coming back up and over. Come down palm to palm. One more time, we're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you. Twist away. We hold. And we lift back up and over. To come down palm to palm. From here we're swapping sides. So you can either roll over to face the other way, or swap the end of your mat that you're laying at. So again, you're taking those knees bent, laying on your side. Arms are nice and long, palm to palm. We lift the top arm up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. You're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting up and over. To come down palm to palm. Top arm lifts, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. Twisting away, we hold. Coming back up and over, palm to palm. So we want to keep this arm reaching nice and long, fingertips all the way down to your armpits, so that you know you're getting a really nice open position through your chest. Your legs are glued together, nice and grounded, keeping this twist through the waist. Deep breaths. We're looking at this hand for as long as we can, so that you know you're getting good range of movement through the neck on both sides. Let's take 2 more here. We're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, we're twisting away, we hold. Lifting up and over, to come back down, palm to palm. This is your last one, we're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, we're twisting away. Holding here to stretch, for lifting back up and over, to come down palm to palm. From there, I want you to come into a nice full body stretch. You can roll onto your back. You'll be staying on your back, but if you need to, grab yourself a drink. So on your back, you want to be laying in a neutral position, with your knees bent, feet on the floor, so you have a curve under your lower back. Your arms are resting down beside you. We're taking a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift your shoulders from the floor, reach the arms nice and long. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Chin to chest. We're lifting up, reaching the arms. Holding here. Control back down. So we're using the tummy muscles to lift us. You're pulling your belly button all the way down. We're using our chin to chest position to try and keep the neck nice and relaxed. So think big nod of the head, then you're lifting up. Reaching those arms away, get the shoulders away from the ears. And use that pelvic floor. Let's take 2 more in this position. Chin to chest. Lifting up. We hold. Control back down. Last one here, chin to chest. Lifting up. We hold. Control back down. So we're still going to be doing the same lift, but we're reaching towards the foot on the same side of the body, so you're hinging. So we're coming chin to chest, lifting up. From there you're going to lean over to the foot on the same side of the hand, so it's a hinge in the waist. come back to the centre and rest down. Then you're swapping sides, chin to chest, lift, hinging over, back to the centre and down. So you can support the head here if your hands are behind the head, not the neck. You'll just take one arm away as you reach. Remember to use that tummy. You're pulling the belly button down. Use your pelvic floor. You want to still have that nod in the head, even if you're supporting with the hands. We've got 2 more on each side, chin to chest, lifting up. We reach back to the centre and down, chin to chest, tighten the tummy. Reaching over, back to the centre and down. Last 2, chin to chest and lift. Reach over, centre and down. Last one here, chin to chest, lifting up, reach over, centre and down. From there you're going to hug those knees in towards your chest. From there, once you've finished having that stretch, we're going to be either on your knees, or if you don't like kneeling, if your knees don't agree with that, then I want you to just go onto your fronts, laying long with those legs. And your hands are beside you, mat width apart. Grab a drink if you need one. Okay, so if you're in a knelt position, you want the legs just be long and behind you. And if you suffer from cramp, then just take a tucked under position here, and that should help to get rid of it. You want to be nice and tall through your upper body. Get the knees quite underneath your hips, they're not too splayed apart. Just relaxing those arms down to try and keep the shoulders away from the ears. You're keeping your tummy really tightened the whole time that you're moving here. So we're going to breathe in as we lean back, tighten that tummy. Exhale, squeeze your bottom to lift up. Inhale back. Exhale, squeeze. Leaning back. Exhale, squeeze. The shoulders stay relaxed, just slightly nod that head so we're not flinging the head backwards as we lean. And think about really using the squeeze of your bottom to drive you back up. So the lean back isn't very big. Really tightening in the tummy. Let's take 2 more like this, leaning back. Squeeze and lift. Leaning back. Squeeze and lift. We're going to add that little twist on that we did yesterday. If you're on your front, you're going to go to lifting both arms away but keeping the legs down. If you're on your knees, you're going to bring those hands chest height, just clasp them in the middle, and you're taking that small lean, but you're going to twist slightly as you go. Lift back up. Lean back, twist, come back up. So try to get your twist back to the centre before you lift. So still tightening the tummy as you come back. Squeeze to lift. Try and get the bottom relaxed for the rest of that lean. We don't want it to be too engaged. So you might have to make your lean smaller. Just fine if you need to. Try to have that exhale on the way up if you can. You've got 2 more on each side, leaning back, twist, center, lift, leaning back, twist, center, lift, last one on each side, leaning back, twist, center, lift, last one, lean, twist, center, lift. From there, whichever position you've been using, we come back into a shell stretch. So bottom to the feet, arms are reaching forward. Grab a drink if you need one. And then bring on our backs with 100. So as you come onto your back, to begin with, just lay with those knees bent and feet on the floor, just while we're talking through what we're going to do. So it's the same that we did yesterday, we'll be doing it all week. Doesn't matter if you didn't join in yesterday. So from here, what you're going to do is find a nice strong flat back position. So you're tucking under, making sure that that lower back is strong and into the floor. From there, what I would like you to do is to lift your legs up and lengthen them as much as you can. So like I always say, I bang on about this all the time, it doesn't matter if your legs can't fully straighten. If you need to keep a bend in the knees, that's fine. It's more important that you can maintain that lengthened position. Okay, so your legs will be nice and long. From there, we're going to nod the head, lift the shoulders. Arms will be long and your palms are facing the ceiling. To your 100 beats, you're thinking about pushing up against a resistance. And think, it's still going to be 100 repetitions, 5 as you breathe in, 5 as you breathe out. So think water or toffee or something, and I'll count those for you. From there, your hands are going to come behind your head. And you're going to take 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards those legs. They're still nice and lengthened. You're going to rest that head down, arms rest down beside you, and you're going to crisscross the legs for 2 sets of 8. Okay, so just a little crisscross. As if your legs are slightly bent, but it's the lower half of your leg that will crisscross. Then you're relaxing down. We're going to hug those knees in and go into a stretch. Okay, so find yourself that nice, strong, tucked under position. Get that back nice and flat. When you're ready, you're going to lift those legs up, lengthen them as much as you can. Then we nod the head, lift those shoulders, taking the arms long, palms face the ceiling. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying here, take your hands behind your head. You've got sit-ups for 8, 7, 6, 5, breathe, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more, 8, 7, 6, 5. Tummies in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the head down, the arms come down beside you. Your legs are going to crisscross for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing there. Hug those knees into your chest, and then when you're ready, bring yourself into a full body stretch and just give those legs a little shake out. And then you're going to come into a seated position. Grab a drink if you need one. Okay, we're going to go into our stretches. This is when hopefully the double mats will help. So we're going to come into our pigeon stretch. So, my hip is really bad this week as well as my wrists, unfortunately. But I'll still talk you through what we're doing and see how we go. So, if you want to do the full pigeon stretch, you're going to tuck one leg in front and have one leg reaching back. So this leg here, if I face you, you'll be able to see better, is tucked under. I'm hoping you can see that against the purple. And the other leg is longer behind. If you're not able to do that position, I just want you to step one leg forwards towards where your hands are. And then let the other leg reach back and behind you. So you can choose whichever one is better for you. And we're just going to hold that stretch. So you're either on long arms with your chest lifted, or drop yourself down to the floor. So it depends which one you find the most comfortable. So hopefully that demonstration was helpful. It's difficult with a bad hip and a bad wrist. We're just going to hold here and take nice deep breaths in and out. It doesn't matter if you're on long arms or if you're on your forearms, whichever you find the most comfortable and in either leg position. Make sure you take nice deep breaths. So from there we're going to relax and change sides. So you're going to be bringing the other leg either in front and tucked under, or stepping it beside your hands. Remember, you can be either on long arms if you feel that nice stretch, or drop into the forearms, whichever you prefer. So we want to be getting this back leg nice and long so that you're lengthening these hip flexors. Remember those deep breaths in and out. And we're relaxing there. I'm just going to take another stretch here. So we have done one similar to this at the end of class quite a few times. So it's just a slightly modified version. So we're going to step one foot in front. And usually we step this foot quite far forwards, so that you can really lean into the stretch. But what I'm going to do here is, instead of leaning forwards like that, like a lunge, I'm going to think about tucking your bottom under and then pushing down into the floor. So instead of your bottom poking out, which lots of us have, you're going to tuck under and then push into that front foot. So you should feel like it's working into the bottom, into the glutes. You can have the hands on the hips if you want to here. So really pressing into the floor here. Relax those shoulders. Relaxing here, going to change sides, so the knees under the hip and the other knee is above the heel. So first of all, you want to think about tucking the bottom under. Hopefully you can see that if I move my arms at my top. So this is relaxed here. Lots of us have this arch. Mine's probably more pronounced now that I'm pregnant, so that's probably good for these purposes. And then I want you to tuck that under. Hopefully you can see that. If you're unsure of that, drop me a message. Then I'm going to push that under position by squeezing my bottom, pressing down into that front foot. So I'm really feeling it in this hip and in my bottom. Breathe. This is another slightly selfish one because this is really good for my hip. And relaxing there. From there, come into a seated position. We're going to go into our frog. I'm just doing this on one side because that wide position is really not good for my hip. So you want both legs in this position with the soles of the feet touching. I just want you to give those legs a little shake up and down. So just working into those hips. And relaxing that shake. Take hold of both feet. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Take hold of both feet and start to pull yourself forwards. And if you want to, use those elbows to increase that stretch towards your mat. And relaxing there. So from there, we're going to be on our sides. Grab a drink if you need one. Okay, let me just sort out these mats. So lay on our sides with the knees bent and together. You're going to take your bottom arm long and rest your head on it. If this position is really uncomfortable for you, you can bend the elbow and rest your head in your hand, or take a cushion or something under the arm or under the head, which should hopefully help you out. So from here, I want you to have your hand on top of your hip, and that's just to make sure that you're not moving those hips all over the place. Clasp those legs together, we're going into our clown. So your top leg is going to lift up and down, lift and lower. So you might not get tons of movement here. As you can see, mine is quite restricted. So I've got that tightness through my hips. So if you're feeling like the movement's small, that doesn't matter. As long as those hips are still, you're just working to where you're able to move. 4 more here, lifting up and down. Lift up and down. Last 2, lift and down. Lift and down. From here, we're going to reach those legs out long. So flex your feet and look down your body. If you can see your toes and you're in a great position, if not, just bring those legs slightly further forwards. Have that hand on the hip to check you're stacked. And that should feel like you're having to balance on that hip. Okay, so if it feels quite comfortable, you're probably sitting a little bit far forwards or a little bit too far back. You should be balanced directly on that hip. Can use a hand here to support you. Tighten your tummy and underneath your waist. So zipping up here. From here, we're going to lift the top leg up pointed. Flex the foot to come back down. Point to lift. Flex down. Don't forget to breathe. Work through the ankle. Push into the heel on your flex. Lifting up. Flexing down. Just to hip height. No higher. We're taking 2 more here. Point to lift. Flex down. Last one. Point to lift. Flexing down. So then lift that leg up just to hip height. Still got the point. We're going to circle for 8, 7, 6, breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. Check that you're still nice and stacked and adjust if you need to. Top leg lifts just to hip height. Bottom leg comes to meet it. They come back down. We're going to lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Breathe. Lift, lift, and down. We've got 4 more here. Long, long, and down. Really reach those legs. Reach, reach, and down. 2 more. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Into double lifts. Coming up and down. Up and down. We lift and lower. Breathe, lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 2 more. Up and down. Up and down. Okay, so we're going into our hinging through the waist. So if you are supporting your head in your hand, you need to take that arm long. You're pressing into this long arm to get a lift through your upper body at the same time as your legs double lifting up. Ideally, we want this hand on the hip, but if you still need to help yourself balance, just take the hand to the side of the floor. So we're going to be pressing down into that arm, lifting up and down. Lift up and down. Breathe and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Good job. Okay, we're going to swap sides. Grab a drink if you need to. So just swapping the side that we're laying on. So remember that bottom arm is long, resting on top of it if you can. Just checking you can still see me, yeah. Bring those legs bent, they're stacked together. So here we want to take the hand on top of the hip. Gluing the feet together, we're lifting up and down. Lift and down. Breathe. Four more. We lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. From there, you're going to lengthen those legs long and away. Flexing the feet, just have a little look down the body. If you can see those toes, great. If not, just scooch the legs a further forwards. Check your stack. So use your hand on your hip to just make sure that hip is directly pointing up to the ceiling. Don't lay too far forwards or too laid back. You should feel balanced. Tighten the tummy and under the waist. Hand can come just down beside you to help keep you balanced if you need to. You're lifting that top leg up, pointed. Flex to come down, point to lift. Flex down, breathe. Work through that foot. Push into the heel as you flex. 4 more, lift up, flex down. Lift up, flex down. Last 2, lift up. Flex down, lift up. Flex down. We're going to lift up for our circles forwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that leg down. Check you're still nice and stacked. Top leg lifts, pointed. Bottom leg comes to meet it. They come back down. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Tighten the tummy and down. Breathe. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. 2 more. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Last one. Lift, lift, and down. I think we did extra there, but never mind. Double lifts coming up and down. Use your tummy. And down, and breathe. And down. And down. And down. 4 more. Up and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. We're going into that hinging through the waist. Hand on the hip if you can. If not, rest down for support. We're pressing into this long arm to lift your upper body. Those legs lift together. Here we go. Coming up and down. Lift up and down. Lift and down. Breathe. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Relaxing there. Well done. Roll onto your back and take a full body stretch. Give those legs a little shake out if you need to. Just stretching out. Once you finish stretching out, come onto your hands and knees. So as you come onto your hands and knees, I'm going to be on my forearms because my wrist is still very sore. You want hands under the shoulders, knees under your hips. You can come onto your forearms like I am. Tuck those toes under. If you're on your forearms, then just make sure, as I always say, that your arms are parallel to one another, so they shouldn't cross in or splay out. As you breathe out, you're going to pull your tummy in, press into your hands and your feet to lift those knees up, just an inch or so from the floor. Inhale down, lifting up and down, lifting up and down. So tummy is lifting you here. Your hands and your feet are there for support. You want to keep a nice long line through the back. So if you're on your forearms like me, you're looking down to your mat. If you're on long arms, just look slightly forwards with your fingers. If you just want to avoid dropping the head or pushing the head all the way up. Let's take 4 more, lifting up and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. From there, you're pushing back into your shell stretch. Roll through those wrists if you've been on long arms and your wrists are sore. And then we're going to go into our planks. So we're doing the same planks that we did yesterday. So it doesn't matter if you didn't do yesterday's class. We will have done these before if you have either done these classes all the way through or come to my classes before all of this craziness. So we're going to go from the forearms and try to lift ourselves up onto long arms, okay? Notice that I used the word try. So, come onto your forearms. I'm going to go on this back mat. Hopefully you can still see me out. So, on your forearms, remember that they're parallel to one another. You shouldn't be crisscrossing the hands over at any point. You're going to step one leg back and behind you, get the leg long, press the feet into the floor. The other leg is going to step back to join it, And you're going to find your plank position. You'll feel quite low if you're used to being on long arms. Once you've found that position, you're going to lean into one side. Press your weight into one hand. Start pushing yourself up. And the other hand comes down beside you. Holding here for a breath in and out. Relaxing there. Okay? So you're going to step back, tuck under, find that plank. When you're ready, lean into one side. Press the other hand down to lift. Then come all the way up. And relax. If you're able to get yourself into that halfway position, you can't bring yourself all the way up, just hold there for your breath. Relax. On the other time, try the other side. You might find one side is much stronger than the other. Okay, so if you can alternate, doesn't matter if you're only able to do it on one side for now. I just want you to have a go, really. I want that strong plank position before you even try to start moving. Then think of shifting, push up and lift. Make sure as you're coming into that plank, you've squeezed your bottom and pulled your tummy in. Breathing the whole time. So keep doing these in your own pace. There's no rush. I want you to really think about that strong plank position in both positions. So when you're in your forearms, don't let those hips drop too low. You still need the tummy engaged to get you off of the floor. Make sure that as you're changing your arms, if I show you this way around, as you're changing your arm position, you need to lean over because this hand needs to come considerably further under to the shoulder to be able to lift you up. If you're leaving your arm in that position, it's so much harder to lift. Bring the hand under the shoulder. If you're unsure of that, look at what I'm doing now. So from forearms, lean, hand under the shoulder to push yourself up. You'll be more underneath your body. It'll give you that better centre of gravity. And you would always do a long arm plank with your hands underneath your shoulders anyway. So try and keep that as you're transitioning from one to the other. And don't forget to breathe. You've got 2 more of these. Step back, tuck under. Lean over, press down and lift. Hold that breath. And relax. Last one. Step back, tuck under. Strong plank before you lean over. Push up, hold. And relax. Stretch yourself back. Roll through those wrists. Control that breathing. And then we're going to go into our last stretch before we finish. So we're just going to roll those shoulders back. Control that breathing if you're feeling a little bit ragged. Coming forwards. You can of course stand here if your knees don't like weight bearing. Take both arms out nice and long and away. We're going to lift all the way up. We're stretching over. Come back to the centre. Other side, lift up. Stretching over. Back to the centre. One more time each side, lift up. Stretching over. Back to the centre. Last time, lift up. Stretch over. Back to the centre. That is the end of today's session. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Let me know if the 2 mats together helped people see what my legs are doing a little bit more, or if not, any ideas on how I can improve that. I just unfortunately cannot get into any of my bright coloured leggings, so I only have black ones to choose from now, I'm afraid. Also, just to remind everybody that you can watch back all of the clips from the very beginning if you want to do any stuff where you're laying on your front. Those are all still on this page if you scroll all the way down on the Facebook, or you can go onto my YouTube channel, which is just Miranda Whiting, and they're all on there. Also on the Facebook page, there is a ring session and a roller session. If you want access to those, if you can't find them, let me know and I will repost to the top. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, I can post them onto my YouTube channel if you want to use those. So let me know. Have a lovely day, enjoy the sunshine, and I hope to see lots of you for the rest of the week. Bye bye.